Okay, so sometimes it spams it in Discord and sometimes it doesn't. I'm figuring new things out about this bot every day. Good morning if you're already in here. Alright, let's see if that works. We'll have to try that tomorrow. Alright. Get off Sun W. Let's check out a little bit of SPY. So we're still trying to hold above that emergent candle from that day. And we still have support range held for the highs. So we are not getting bloody quite yet. We actually are making a higher low right now. That's going to be good. Alright, so let's make a list. So we're not completely bloody yet, but on SPY futures though, if you do see this range get taken out, you'll probably see a retracement to another emerging candle, which will probably be about right here, 37.40. So you'll see a nice one directional fall once this range is broken. But if it's held and can get above at least this little range here, then we can be a little more bullish and at least a little more eager for the new highs. Same with NASDAQ. NASDAQ's in a pretty similar spot. I didn't even have to look real quick, but they're in a pretty similar spot. They're actually a little lower, and they don't have the little, I don't know what you want to call that on SPY. It's like a bunch of eaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. So should be a fifth coming. Where on NASDAQ you got like a weird inverted head and shoulders almost forming here. As long as this stays as a higher low, that's going to be a strong reversal. I'd even look at the daily candles. Yeah, that's not even okay. We're holding still strong, and like you still have this one, so that's a very strong support. 12.760s, those are going to be strong. So there's still a strong. This is like the SPY strong support, except on Nasdaq. So you still have a good range of support under both. All right, so let's see what tickers I want to do today. I wanted to do Facebook because I genuinely think this will keep falling. Oh, hold up. I got to turn back on this. That'd probably help because I can't mark pre-markets if extended hours aren't on. So these are the levels I still have on it. I'm glad pre-market is opening up in between that right now, which makes me double excited about this level here. So it looks like 250.25 is going to be our best break below on Facebook today. Let's remove that. Okay, that's perfect. The true pre-market high actually lines up with a support turn resistance. So that'll be a very strong break above. These levels I marked are from the bigger time frames, I think. Yeah, they're from the 4 hour, I'm pretty sure. Just marking other levels. So we have this huge gap range here on Facebook that technically Facebook has entered now. So we should see a continued fall pretty soon over the next week or so. Unless market just continues to fly, but Facebook has not been following market clearly. So I think Facebook's going to be one to bleed. Is FSOY still holding? This is a very strong level because it used to be a support right here. This is like the 80% entry before the last time we played around. Went up, played that. We played a few days in here. Came back down. Now we're looking for the break back above that level. That could still equal even more bullish, which both me and the chef have been telling people how significant the calls off of this level right here were. So it still looks good. So if you're already in, even better. JPM up. Ride. This is a ticker a lot of people need to watch more. Ride's a really, really good stock. They're probably due for one more retracement, it looks like, but generally this is another low-key EV stock that's been popping. Alright, so first of all, we have to do Roku first, just because Jason will be happy with that. Roku. Alright, so what was this level? This is the most important level right here. That's the true high. Then you have the extended high, which is 420.60. So you still want to notate that, but that's not going to be my break. I'll notate that that's the true high. Above 419. First target will probably be 420.60, of course. We'll notate that, and then we'll put 425, and then we'll mark 427, $2 above it. So below, let's see what we got. We got a common level here. All right, so Roku's one of those stocks that you want to give some leisure when you do the break below, because you want to have some room under so you can at least buy the dip if something does happen. But I'm pretty sure they're super bullish right now, so you want to give it some space. So let's zoom back out. So you can see this is a pretty crazy uptrending. So the stock's getting a lot of upgrades out of everywhere. The stock's getting a lot of good feedback from the market overall. So I'm going to find a level that's pretty strong right there. I like that one because you have two highs over here. The resistance of the first candle that ended up popping. Support. So 414 is where I'm not sure, where I will short it under. Where will we short it to? Probably that level, because one, it's the resistance turn support from pre-market to the 80% level from yesterday. We can target pre-market low of yesterday, and then we can mark this low as well. So we have below 414, target 409/405.65, or you could just say 405.70, and then we'll move on. Netflix is another one that's been kind of popping. It was kind of stuck in a range, ended up dropping pretty good yesterday. That's an inverse head and shoulders kind of forming, very ugly, but either way is looking good, because even if you just cover this right here, it's pretty much a bullish rectangle right there on a bigger time frame, of course. So I'm going to be looking for the support catch on this pattern, which looks like it already wanted to do that in pre-market. So let's clear that. So I'll be looking for a good move here on Netflix above, let's just say above close of yesterday. So 494.25. If you want to play puts again, which is very likely, we'll say 490.50, because one, that's the true pre-market low, and it's the resistance of that pattern that reversed. Let me type that. 494.25. And our target for the below is going to be pretty easy. So we can mark bottom right here. I like that because it's the true support catch, and then it ended up doing a continuation down. That's a little flag there, and then we'll mark the low. So you have two targets, pretty easy. 488.25 and 486.50. Let's go to the above. Oh, I'm already on it. Alright, so let's mark that because that's resistance. I mean, that was support, resistance right here. So that'll be the strongest target, of course. So let's find one more. I guess we'll end up marking the true pre-market high, just because that is a nice level. It did in extended hours, and it did right at open of pre-market, so it's at least notable. I'll say 496.55/499.25. So we got a $5 move on the top side, and we got a 4 to the down. So we got pretty good levels there. If it ends up dropping even lower than the second target on the below again today, then you'll be very happy about that. If you end up having any, and this isn't even just for Netflix, if you're on multiple contracts on any of these plays, scale out. Teach yourself to scale out by doing it more. Use those targets as scale out points. A lot of the times it ends up going past all of them, which is good because it can help teach you, like, good guidelines for going through when you're trying to do scaling out. So it's perfect. Square, I want to see this one pop back up soon. Let's mark high of day for a good break above. That'll be the solid break. I don't really want to short it any lower unless it really does break a level. It's kind of scary. So 224.60 is what I'm going to be watching on Square for a break below. Above 220, let's just say 229. Target 231/234. I just know that off the top of my head. I think if I... Let's mark that, because that was resistance, support, gap. Resistance, over here it isn't anything. And I'm marking the lower high of this day. Ends up being a pretty strong resistance from this day and in today or yesterday's pre-market, so that looks like that'll be a pretty solid first target for when we go above. And then I'll mark low of this 5-day, 5-minute. Let's back out to the 30. Let's extend that. Okay, yeah, that's a good spot. That's a strong level that we need to remember. That's a strong level. Alright. We got enough. Alright, so we're going to take off the 230.50. I was close. 233.50. And then 238. Below 224.65. Target 222, 221, and 218. I hate putting levels so close like that, the 222 and 221, but I'm not going to lie to myself and say there's not a level there, because I've seen like a continuation pattern sit in between a $1 range, thinking it was crazy before, but then it ends up lining up pretty perfectly. SKLZ, let's see how you do today. This would be a pretty cheap play if you guys want to grab shares. I'll probably be doing the same today for any equity traders out there. Looks like above 26.15 will be a very strong break. Honestly, the true break will be about where current price almost is. And then a break below 25, of course, for a good buy the dip retracement soon. So, which would be cool for any new investors, because this is just on a peak up here. So we really got to see how today goes, because that'll give us a good pattern there. Yeah, SKLZ is a good low-key play. Snap has a pretty cool pre-market. They've been running up under everybody's noses. Played the 56.80 high. I think I'm only going to mark a above level on this. I'm not even going to mark a below, which will probably bite me in the ass, but whatever. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Okay, my mic just spun around. Above 56.80 target. I'm just going to say 58/60. I was actually about to click on Neo. So there's not much to chart there on the left, but we are definitely on an uptrend with a slight retracement, but this retracement is nothing really bad yet. If you mark from gap, you have a kind of flag-like formation there. If you go from this pre-market, which I don't know if I'd do that, but technically it's following trend if you go from the here to here and then stay in there, so it's kind of in a squeeze still, so it's kind of a flag either way you want to look at it. So I'm seeing this as continuation until it breaks either that gap range or this low. So or honestly, the entire gap range. Just delete this one altogether. So I don't think I'd be short on Neo until it at least comes and fills that and then breaks lower. This would be a good buy the dip spot for anyone who's looking to still play Neo, as long as it can stay above this low, in my opinion. Stays anywhere above here and makes a higher low, it'll probably bounce up and break this trend upwards. So definitely keep a look on Neo. I don't think I'll add that to the list, but it's still a good play. Neo is becoming an awesome play daily almost. That news is really under it now. NVIDIA just loves to excite us for a little while and then come back. Look, this thing has done non-stop. Non-stop just doing it. I think we have a red day on NVIDIA again today, and it comes back down to the lower side of the range. Just marking emerging candles. Yeah. So it looks like under 534.60, NVIDIA is going to be an insane stock to short. So NVIDIA 534.60 target 530/526.15 above. Let's see. There's a strong level over here, and then we have one here. I'm not going to use that. That's too close. Let's just use that. It's a pretty common resistance right there. We'll just say 540. Fuck it. Target 544.35 slash. There's a good gap resistance right there that's going to get hit. Also the high of that candle that before close, so 546.75. Alright, so pretty good list, I'd say. I'll try and add some different tickers tomorrow, but we'll see if Yanni calls any cheaper tickers out today. Oh, Fubo. God, someone typed that. Honestly, by looking at the daily candles, this is probably going to continue to run for a little bit again. And if it doesn't, you can at least chart out some resistances. So we'll mark that gap, and that gap. Yeah, Fubo's pre-market's looking really good. It'll probably just be bullish out the gate, to be honest. Then slow down around this level, and then you'll see either a continuation reversal here, and then you'll see either a dip by here or a continuation of that trend there. It's probably what will happen on Fubo. Alright, let me send that list before it's too late. And thumbnail. All right, list is sent. That should be good. All right, is there any other tickers you guys want to look over? Oh, no, Rick, I can go over beyond, no problem. All right, so start with the weekly. I want to mark this left side's emerging candles. Very important. Let's also mark this gap range. It's probably the most important gap range on the entire chart. I was kind of sloppy with that line. I don't have to go much higher on that. And then we'll mark this resistance because that was pretty strong. And then we'll mark that emerging candle and this emerging candle. I can just go straight to the 30-minute probably. Yeah. So there's kind of a inverse here. So I'm kind of looking for a break above the shoulder over here, which would be technically here if you're looking for the during the day resistance. But I'm going to move it a little higher just to be a little more solid on that one. Let's also mark the support before break there. So it looks like above 120.84, you can see beyond try and recover a little more. That'd be really good confirmation. I would just say 121 to be honest. But if you see above that, you could see the 123s. I'd say back below though, some of this continuation back up. I'd say yeah, maybe below even just 119. That'd probably drop another, yeah, at least to 117.50. And you have support here. I think this is the gap, by the way, from 10. I think this is the gap that I was saying is important from 109.50 to 123. So you're kind of at the question: do you go ahead and fill this gap all the way down here before it comes back up? Because normally when you enter a gap, which I know it's already been filled multiple times, but there's still a high chance it'll continue to fill it. I almost promised if I go back and color those. No, we're not. We're not in that gap. We're in the gap from the daily, though. Whoops, I need to do max daily. Here we go. This is the one I'm talking about. Okay, now it's a little higher and a little lower than I thought. But yeah, so we're kind of in a really big range, as well as now you're in a range for recovery here. Let's go to the 30-day, 30-minute. Yeah. So you're still looking for recovery on this one. But it has playable levels on it. Just use your pretty recent price history from the 30-day, 30-minute, and you'll get pretty good price history for recovery. For a break below, though, you have to definitely go back to your bigger time frames because you're not. I mean, you could keep playing the new low technique, but there's still levels here that you can utilize. Like, you know damn well when it gets to 102, it's probably going to slow down, if it even gets that low. We'll see if it ends up catching, though. But they have a lot more competition coming in, too. I haven't been paying attention, to be honest. I'm not quite 100% sure if they're being hurt by the pandemic at all. I would like to think they probably are, just a little, probably not. I saw they made a few deals, but we'll have to see how they go in the future. Bidu, don't be scared of these two, Bidu and Baba, guys. Those are still doing great. Look at that. It's been running. So pretty strong resistance there from this day. Was utilized over here multiple times. Pretty good resistance there from 4. Damn, this one looks good, actually. So there's a gap range here from 2 days ago. There is a pretty common resistance right under it. So if you just wait for 225 or 245, let me make that cleaner. Yeah, if you guys just pretty much wait for 220 or 245, sorry, that'd be a pretty good break above for Bidu. It has a pretty tight pre-market too, so let's mark the low of extended hours. 238.80. That'd be a good first break. To 236.70 for scalpers. If you want to continue to hold for a day trade, it looks like to that 234 that I marked, to that gap, that'd be a good play. It even has a pretty far drop down below if you don't mark these levels. But even if you just mark those, it still has a few good targets below it to play. So you have a crap ton of targets there on Bidu. Bidu could be a really good play as well. Let's go through some weird tickers. Actually, I don't want to look at this one. Cheesecake Factory. Here we go. This thing's been running under my nose. Rising volume. Rising volume. Last 4 candles. 36 to almost 40. That's pretty good for that stock. Looks like it wants to keep going. As long as it gets above this level. CGC, will they continue to run? Pretty strong level at 32. You can play to that high, play above that high. Long swings are probably good at this at the end of January, though, in my opinion. I feel like you'll get one more dip, feel that gap, and then you'll see the bigger blast for a lot of these pot stocks, especially as more policies change. So that'd be really cool. Chewy's in a pretty particular spot. I marked this uptrend a pretty long while ago, but this right here was pretty significant. It started lower, pushed higher. Pretty engulfing candle here. It took over 1, 2, 3, the last 4 days that were dropping and moving sideways. So that was a pretty strong reversal there. Yeah, LI, literally. Me just saying that about that other chart. This looks strong for a reversal back up. Honestly, and I'm still on the daily. There's so many playable levels above that. I'd just wait for this for break below, but I honestly wouldn't short this quite yet. I would wait. It looks like it's about to have a very strong bounce. Aaron says Oxy. Let's see. OXY. Damn, I must have charted them before. I haven't done a red Fibonacci in so long. Let's clear that. What do I feel like I'm looking at? Airline stock. Oh, it's petroleum. I say airline because this chart literally looks like an airline. All right, so it's in between a gap fill. Let's zoom in on that and get a cleaner grab there. That one's pretty good, actually. Let's mark the high of that, too. That candle is very significant right now. All right, so that's between a lot of levels. Could mark this because that'd be a good bounce. So watch this for support play if it ends up coming down. That was a pretty strong reversal right there. Higher low, held pretty strong, just kept slightly pushing up. Then you have another strong push up that has another higher low, so that's strong. And it made a newer high. So that looks like it's good till about 2350s at least. Second target 2440s. Last target would definitely be 2695. Besides that, I would definitely just be careful on that. But that's a very strong reversal right there, technical wise. Not quite sure 100% on them fundamental wise. ET. Plug moved a lot yesterday. Jesus, you aren't kidding. There's another one I haven't really been paying much attention to while we've been calling out. I've been calling out so many swings this week that have been doing good. I've just been so focused on all that. But this one has definitely been running, and I've seen a few of you talk about it in chat. So I'm glad that a lot of people are aware of its amazing movements lately. That's a pretty strong break right there, 72. It's like the true high of everything. Very strong break above right there. I almost can't trust a single short position, though, until it's below this level. With the stronger uptrend, you have to give it a more passive below just because, yeah, you could make a quick scalp if it did break this true pre-market low and you traded it to this 65 or if you traded it down to this 64, but it's honestly just to wait and see what the market does and catch the dip if we're still in an uptrend instead of trying to think about how to continue to play it below. Yes, you can make the scalp below, but it'd be good to just be patient and see if it does dip and then catch the dip. If not, though, and it breaks these, just short it. Because it's definitely, as you guys can see, on its own island. But it's got some good fundamentals behind it, so it's got reason. FSLR, this is a solar stock. Whoops. Just mark that high. That's a pretty significant high right there. It's also resistance here, there, right above pre-market. So that'd be a good first target if you played this for $1 move up. But I'd just wait for this break, honestly. I wouldn't even play pre-market high on that one. For solar, I'd wait. I'll be calling out a few more as they start to dip and consolidate. Some of them are consolidating, some of them dip. So I'll be calling out a few different solar swings pretty soon again. Well, I think I'm going to go grab something and then join voice chat in the chat. If you guys are not aware, please click the link in the bio. That takes you to our website where you can have access to the course and the different links to our chat and information about us. So please do all that. I will see you guys in chat in about 15-20 minutes, and then we can get to trading. See you guys later.